The old Bailey. You'll have to look into it, Mess. That sounds interesting. Honestly, I don't even know if I want to keep the same mixer. It's a pretty old mixer, too. But I kind of like having... It's like I think my next pair of headphones would have to have one as well. Unless I can find a better setup. But I do like the idea of wireless, because I would love to be able to hear Discord conversations, like when I'm going downstairs to get a snack or something. That seems like it would be cool. No jury has been selected. Okay. America's going to vote? Is that how it works? Big Brother won? The trial of the professor 10 years ago. Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, Mess. That seems like a good thing to have, because I miss out on stuff all the time when I just randomly bail from conversations. And the other thing, too, is I feel like wireless headphones now are probably good enough that they don't cut out that much or lack in quality. That would be my only concern. But yeah, getting rid of wires, I think, is maybe my goal for this year. I have so many wired things. And I'm not an elite gamer, so I don't need to have everything wired. So much happened yesterday that I completely forgot about your hair problem. Oh, his hair's back to normal. I didn't even notice. RF is greater than Bluetooth. Okay, it's good to know. Yeah, Bluetooth has never been good for me on anything. Behind this lawyer is a great mind, my own. A morning band. Uh-oh, Gina hates us for being the defense. Oh, Gina. This game, more than any other Ace Attorney game, seems to allow just whoever you want to be in the presence of the defense prior to court starting. Like, I don't think we're supposed to be having this sort of a party pre-trial here. Especially with a witness. All that misfortune, all that pain. I'm excited to see where this goes. All I'm saying is that there's been a lot of buildup in this game, and it better pay off, because I'm excited. I have thoughts about what might happen. Oh, it's noticeably quieter. The fair and just trial. The prosecution is more than ready. Hoping to finish tonight. I stopped last night because it was already late and had work. Yeah. Yeah, this game's a long one. The truths revealed by these proceedings may have unpredictable repercussions throughout the judiciary. No members of the public present, but why were there members of the public present? I just saw them. Look, they're right there. I don't think you understand how the public works. The burden of all arbitration and adjudication falls on my shoulders. Members of the judiciary here to witness proceedings and ensure an equitable trial. This seems rigged. The counsels for the prosecution and defense are both aliens of Great Britain. Oh, he's so much more serious than Lord Van Zeeks. I have a feeling we're not going to crush any wine bottles over the next couple hours. The incident took place on 1st November. The victim's body was discovered there in an old single-room rental property. Several witnesses on the street outside heard the gunshot and all have reported the same time. The victim was found curled up in the corner. It's believed that he was shot from the front at point-blank range and died instantly. Gregson's autopsy report stating that death was instant, resulting from a bullet shot at close range. The murder weapon was found lying beside the victim. The bullet passed through the victim and struck the wall behind him. Alright, so he's not trying to pull any tricks, at least. The room is rented to a Mr. Hugh Boone. Summoning Lord Van Zeeks? What a bold move. Old Bailey prosecutor. All right, here we go. I was investigating Gregson and my inquiries led me to that address. When I first entered the room that day, it was dark inside and I saw no one. A moment later, I heard the gunshot. I spun around and saw the revolver on the floor. Just as I picked the firearm up to examine it, the door flew open, and I heard a man scream. It was only then that the body of Inspector Gregson appeared before me. Cosmo is not behaving like himself at all. Motivated by revenge. All right, let's pick this apart. I'm not at liberty to say, of course not. Gregson was involved in a case I was investigating. I was privy to his movements in advance. I stole into his office in the yard and consulted his diary. The address on Fresno Street was noted in the 5 p.m. entry. I was aware of the consequences. All right, he knew that Gregson was up to something. So I think Lord Van Zeeks was maybe on to the fact that the Professor case didn't actually happen the way that everybody thinks it happened. So he was checking out Gregson because he thinks Gregson did some cover-up. I only learned the place as a result of my investigations into Gregson's activities. There was no light inside when I entered, so it was all but impossible to make out anything. Wasn't there a candle? Part of the room where the body was found was very dark. I have a feeling there was a small oil lamp burning on the desk, but I couldn't say for certain. When I entered the room, I closed the door behind me and started towards the desk to investigate. I never reached the desk. A moment later, I heard the gunshot. I spun around and saw the revolver on the floor. I didn't sense another's presence. The sound emanated from inside the room and I could smell the gunpowder. And I foolishly picked it up. In point of fact, my lord, I believe it did not. The barrel of the revolver I picked up was cold, and there was no smell of spent powder. Where on earth is the gun that was fired? This isn't a lot of room to work with in this case here. Why does everyone pick up the gun? I don't know. Just as I picked the firearm up to examine it, the door flew open and I heard a man scream. One of the street merchants working on Fresno. A match seller, a newsmonger, and a peddler. They've all given statements saying they heard the gunshot. They ran inside to see what had happened. The first man to come in immediately noticed the revolver in my hand and fled. The man's scream drew my attention in that direction. Okay. It was only then that the body of Inspector Gregson appeared before me. The body hadn't been there until that point, and then suddenly there it was. The door flying open and the scream of the man who came inside first, nothing more. How the inspector was killed or how his body seemed to appear out of nowhere, I have no idea. Lying on multiple fronts. The defendant is lying. Ooh, new jam. In his testimony just now, he claims that he failed to notice the victim's body because the room was dark. That's impossible. As proven by this candelabrum. If you examine the tip of the long candle, you can see it has been blown off by a powerful impact. One would assume that the projectile from the firearm passed through the victim and struck the candle. The problem comes when you consider the other two candles, which are clearly of a different length. When the candle was hit by the bullet, it obviously went out. But the other two candles would still have been burning. So the fact is, I win. Maybe Lord Van Zeeks has prosopagnosia times 10. The inability to recognize bodies. And now to the next lie. The accused also claims never to have visited the scene of the crime. That's the truth. In that almost empty room, the police discovered something very unusual. A board covered from top to bottom in police documents and newspaper cuttings. It goes without saying that the contents of the police documents cannot be divulged. However, they included a number of reports from various historical cases, the oldest of which was from 10 years ago. This is starting to sound familiar. What is the common thread? They all relate to cases prosecuted by Barak Van Zeeks. All those cases are ones in which the defendant was acquitted. None of those defendants are alive today because all of them have been sent to their graves. The Reaper's secret hideout. Wow, Kazuma's coming out swinging. Gregson was investigating the identity of the Reaper. When he discovered the location of the man's secret hideout, he was killed. I hereby state the current opinion of the court. This trial is over. All I have done is state the truth as I know it. Where's his wine bottle so he can throw it? Be like, I'm pissed. No one's listening to me. The notice board entered into the court record. He's going to call the 3 street sellers, yeah. Oh my. We don't use names. We don't use names. Okay. Everyone calls me Gossip. I sell jaunty little titbits to passers-by. Okay. Pay the man. young couple on Slate Street have just had twins. Get your ellipsis ready in the chat. Is that it? £6 apiece. What name do you go by and what do you sell? I'm Venus. Oh, they make a lot of noise when they go off, don't they? Pop, pop, pop. Okay, so the firecrackers sound like a gun going off. That's good. That helps our case. If you get 100 of them, you can blow up the whole courtroom. Try the woman. Give her the money. Pay the woman, counsel. We're going to be broke. The Venus special. 600 pence. What sort of a bang could it make? I wonder. And the last witness, what name do you go by? I'm a thinker. I think, therefore I am. We got Renee Descartes here. I stand there on the street watching the world go on about me. They call me the observator. Or observator. Everyone calls you Sandwich. I give advice. What is this ridiculous cast of characters? The court will hear the formal testimony. Here we go. We saw the whole thing from start to finish. Everything from the moment they went in the building. It was less than a minute after the Reaper had gone inside that we all heard a big bang. It seems to me that quick to talk is quick to walk. Gossip couldn't wait to go and see what had happened. I ran into the room and there he was, the Reaper, gun in hand, standing over the dead body. I was scared half to death of me, so I ran off to find a copper. The room in which the inspector was found is the only property in the building that's currently leased. Hugh Boone. Who is they? The first fellow must have gone inside a good 15 minutes before we heard the gunshot. Bright red hair. I mean, that's got to be Sherlock Holmes, right? Look at this photograph. Every time I do, you know what it does. It makes me laugh. Wow, it's Gregson wearing Sherlock Holmes's hair. And also Roy's hair from Fire Emblem. No trunk was found at the scene. We have color photos of the turn of the century, and the original only had black and white. It's all good. We don't have to question the timeline. It just works. In the words of the great Todd Howard. We also have magical steampunk things that we definitely shouldn't have. Remember in the first game when we had a... what was it? It was a gun that you fired to create trap doors or something. Just go with it. There could be no clear motive for the crime. Oh, it was a cat door maker, yes. Even more specific. I'm not anybody. The signs are what make me who I am now. Oh, yeah. Is this the driver of that thing? Interesting. I forgot about him from the first game. Lord Vance claims all he heard was a man's scream, though. There were candles burning on the wall. And there was a fella collapsed on the floor. Next thing I noticed was someone standing right beside the body. Maybe Lord Van Zeeks can't see candlelight. Maybe that's his thing. Is that a real disease? Can you be unable to see light? Maybe he just lives in darkness. I stood my ground and gave that Reaper a cold, hard stare myself. There's nothing to me. Maybe he's a vampire? I mean, he does kind of look like Dracula, so... When he saw the Reaper, he fell clean over on his backside. Pool of blood. I slipped over and got blood on my hand, so I quickly wiped it off on the floor. That seems questionable. I don't remember anything in the report about a bloody handprint on the floor. What if Sandwich is the murderer? There's a pool of blood. It must have been issued longer ago than that. Okay. I wonder what we're supposed to find here. Oh, look at that. There's our handprint. We did it. Who could go for a sandwich right now? Yeah, sandwiches sounds good. I haven't had a good sandwich in a while. I actually just bought a bunch of sandwich meat and bread this week, so maybe I'll have a sandwich for lunch tomorrow. That sounds good. The police found no such handprint on the floor during their investigations. Nobody ever looks at the backs of things in Ace Attorney. It's always on the back. Check the back. That facial. Gossip has the faces. Also, Gossip's hair looking quite like court record. Examine. I wonder who that could be. Does his sign say hot actual hero? Any handprints on the back of the board are irrelevant. Look at the floor plan of the room. The notice board was in the opposite corner of the room to the victim, and in an upright position. In other words, the defense's assertion is contradictory. Yes, it is. The discrepancy between the witness's account and the location of the handprint is explained by another handprint, the board moving, false testimony. I mean, one could move the board, I suppose. But I feel like it's false testimony. Who gave false testimony, though? I don't know that we want to bring false testimony into this yet. I feel like the board moving seems unlikely. I'm going false testimony. Positing perjury simply because it suits you, you bring shame. Ouch. I brought shame. He's my father now? So where did it go? The board moving. The real contradiction here is the handprint itself, not where it was found. As the court can see, it's upside down. If the witness had put his hand against the board, the fingers should be pointing upwards. What does that tell us? When this handprint was made, the board must have been lying on the floor. Yes? We already established that? I'm confused. Which means that after the incident, it must have been moved. Wow. Okay. Wow. I liked perjury better. When you consider all the testimony we've heard so far, we can now be very clear on one point. The position of the notice board at the time of the incident, my lord. At the time of the incident, where do you maintain the notice board was situated? I don't know. In front of the door? Here? Here, maybe? I don't know. If the court would think back to the testimony given by the defendant earlier, he said that when he entered the room, it was dark and he couldn't see the body. The light from the candles would have been blocked, making the room appear darker. But the accused also claims that the victim's body simply appeared before him. That's true. Ah, so it knocked over when the door opened. Dominoes. Someone's fixing up the crime scene. Ooh, all right. Already getting the Allegro. I don't know anything about that notice board. I just wiped my hand on it. Don't look at me. I haven't got a clue about it. I was doing business with some second years at the time. I don't know anything about anything. I'm just a bystander. It was the Reaper, I bet. He's got a face that screams bored. I can't see how this changes anything anyway. The detective still died when we heard the gunshot. Not sure it's so safe always lighting a match using your booty. I might leave a mark, yeah. Proceed, counsel. I don't know anything about that there notice board. I just wiped my hand on it. Wow, she makes a lot of money. If I said it was, could we just leave it at that? Deep philosophical thoughts. Let's say there was a great liar, and that great liar said, without batting an eye, telling barefaced lies is kind of my thing. I'm ever so good at it. Would those words of hers be a lie too? Or the truth? Oh, it's one of these problems. What are you on about, old man? Trying to cause trouble? She'll kill you with fireworks. Be careful. Oh, she actually will. Old blabbermouth here headed for the room where the gunshot seemed to come from. But there was someone else who crept up the stairs behind him, too. The liar. Dot 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 dot. Either you clearly remember it or you don't. Maybe I did sneak along behind Gossip and have a little peek into the room where it all happened. Do you think that she possessed the toy that has the key inside of it? Maybe that's why that was at the crime scene. The truth, please. The truth, please. You're telling us that you moved the board? You daft barm pot. Oh, it's Gina. I took it to Jabez's to see how much it was worth. Wouldn't give me a penny for it. Said it wasn't working. The glass appears to be broken. It shattered when the inspector was shot. It doesn't tick anymore either. We'll get a time of death now because it stopped when he died. What day is this? Is this November 1st? Is this another daylight savings case? Maybe this is another daylight savings case. They like to throw these in every now and then. I can't remember when do you set your clocks back? That seems like the time. Maybe I did sneak along behind Gossip and have a little peek into the room. Alright, we're gonna keep pressing. It was that Reaper, I bet. He's got a face that screams bored. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon that you all heard the loud bang, wasn't it? I think it has something to do with the pocket watch. That's the keyhole. Okay. So that's what the key is for, is to adjust the pocket watch?
For streamer Golden, this name is the most recent one of these. Ken, what's a hoe? No. Whoa!
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 Eggman, Suzato toss. I can't flip myself upside down on stream. I could try to manipulate the camera. I don't think it's going to work. But thank you for the 93 months. I saw you just finished this game. Okay, so we need to look at the key again, because it's the key. The key is the key to the case. You get it? Went hard on it the last 3 days. Nice. Yeah, I think I want to try to finish this up potentially this week. We'll see how many streams I get in. Mess is in a race with me right now to finish because he wants to be able to watch the streams. I think you'll be just fine, though, because I don't know if I'm going to stream tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, I have Trivia League starting up again, so I will be not streaming. But Wednesday I might stream. We'll see. Okay, what's this other side here? Small part at the scene, huh? Okay, now we gotta examine the key. We already know this is a key, because we already examined it. Insert and twist. Wow. The inspector's watch has started going again. If the watch isn't actually broken after all, I have a feeling it could have profound implications. Okay, so now we can present that because Now we present the broken pocket watch, I think. Okay. Okay. We're cruising through this case. It, in fact, still works. The watch was stopped at almost exactly 5 o'clock. Exactly the hour. The time that was showing on the watch tells us nothing. Even if it's true, the 3 witnesses here all heard the gunshot at 5 o'clock. That's obviously when the crime was committed. The evening before the day of the incident, when the gunshot rang out in that room, the inspector was already unable to wind his watch. What would stop a man winding his watch if he's been in the habit of winding it every single evening for 10 years? Death. Well, yes. There's an omission in the coroner's report. The time of death is not noted. That's embarrassing. Like I said, I planted my hand in a dirty, great puddle of blood. The victim's blood hadn't dried, it was fresh. But that blood could be explained in any number of ways. It could have been put there afterwards. Some fresh blood could have been poured over the victim's body. I spilled some Kool-Aid. Does my learned friend think that fresh blood is available on every street corner? I mean, they sell firecrackers. Maybe they sell blood. It needn't necessarily have been human blood, of course. Tell him, Susato. Pig's blood. Scotland Yard has no way to identify blood as human. Ooh, she kept that from the last case. A chicken's blood could have been used, for example. Maybe it's the blood of a sandwich. But the gunshot was heard at 5 o'clock that afternoon. That's beyond question. Is it, though? Given that the time of death of the victim has already been called into question, it isn't beyond the realms of possibility that what these witnesses heard wasn't a gunshot at all. Now, you listen to me. A street seller's ears are his livelihood. A noise that sounds like a gunshot could have been made with framed photograph. What? Did the game malfunction? What's up, Arian? A noise that sounds like a gunshot that's not the large fireworks. Maybe we need to examine the fireworks before we can prove that they're fireworks. No? Wow. It's almost like I shouldn't have been penalized for my correct answer. Look, it's suddenly right now. How dare you present the piece of evidence without licking it first? This is like when you're in elementary school and they ask you what 10 times 10 is and you say 100 and then they say you don't get credit because you didn't show your work and you're like, well, duh, because 10 times 10 is 100, you know? That's exactly what it is. Yeah, mess, exactly. Unbelievable. This newfangled education system we have requires us to connect the dots first. You're trying to suggest that somebody set one of those fireworks off at the scene? I'm suggesting that somebody knew the defendant was in the room at 5 that day and sought to implicate him by creating a sound like a gunshot for these peddlers on Fresno Street to hear. Common core evidence. That's right. But even the accused himself has testified that he saw no one else in the room at the time. Whether it was a gun or a firecracker, the only person present to cause that bang was Barrick Van Zeeks. A time bomb? I worry that your unfortunate phrasing may lead to another international incident. What proof do you have to suggest in any way that a timed device was employed to create the gunshot sound? I don't know. Do I have evidence for this? A timed device? The pocket watch? Could it just be the pocket watch again? feel like it might be the pocket watch. We haven't explained this either yet, have we? What proof do you have to suggest in any way that a timed device was employed to create the gunshot sound? I don't know. I feel like I'm just presenting the pocket watch again. We've all been very misguided here. By me. The time has come for a penalty. All right, it wasn't the pocket watch. I don't know. If it's not that, then what? Revolver? A timed device was employed to create the gunshot sound. Are we off the theory that it's the firecracker now? Is that just, like, no longer a thing? I'm confused what this question is asking. Aha! That's where the candelabrum comes into play. I don't think that's possible, my lord. Scorching like that only occurs when the target is at very close range, a matter of centimeters from the gun. Which means that the scorching on the candle can't possibly be the result of a gunshot. The fact that there's such visible scorching on the candle suggests that the fireworks must have been right next to it when they exploded. Or to put it another way, the candle and firecrackers were joined together. The culprit somehow attached the firecrackers to the point partway down the candle, and then they just let them burn. Incredible. The judge is just like, yeah, there's no way, dude. Now just hold your horses. The person you saw entering the building wasn't the victim at all. Consider this. Consider the following. The same person who contrived the firecracker trick. In other words, Gregson's killer. Uh-oh. Very impressive. Oh, wow. Criticizing the justice system. Bold move. I hear that many of the leading members of Britain's judiciary are present to observe this trial today. Oh, he plans to manipulate this trial. We cannot allow even the slightest doubt to be overlooked. The defense's assertion about the time of death based on the victim's stopped watch is just conjecture. But while the possibility exists that my learned friend may be correct, we have a duty to explore it. And what immediately comes to mind is, of course, what was Inspector Gregson doing and where did he go on the day before the incident? Do you know? The inspector always carried out his investigative work alone. His movements were treated as confidential. The defense believes it can explain to the court the case that was being investigated by Gregson at the time of his death. What evidence is suggestive of the case being investigated by the inspector on the day prior to the incident? Is it the framed photograph? I think it's the framed photograph. What's up, Earl? How's it going? I'm going with this. Utterly wrong. Ouch. There's one particular piece of evidence that really does stand out in showing what case Inspector Gregson was investigating. I was looking for the professor case, but I don't see it. Maybe I just misread it. Where's the professor case? The Red-Headed League? What evidence is suggestive of the case being investigated on the day? Oh, maybe it is the Red-Headed League, because he's wearing the red head hairpiece. But maybe. Maybe that's it. Okay, hold on. We gotta save. That would explain the red hairpiece. Okay, we're back on track. You got canes? Oh man, I wanted to get canes. I was supposed to go out on the weekend, and it ended up snowing, so I didn't get to go, but I gotta go get some canes sometime. We might assume it was part of a disguise used to carry out an undercover investigation. A grand deception. Two redheads. Gregson infiltrated the Red-Headed League using this hairpiece, so it's very likely that he had direct contact with these criminals. Oh yeah, they're the two that visited Sherlock Holmes way at the start of this case, and seemed basically irrelevant. $10 inches of snow. That's a lot. We'll have a 30-minute recess. Everybody can go outside and make a snow angel. Will be continued in just a minute here.